Arts Center.
Performing Arts Center could take the place of the iconic 48-year-old Van Wezel, where this new facility is expected to be built.
Plus, more improvements coming to the city of Venice, how one new project will better assist those who put their lives on the line for our community.
And some new options to help with the traffic congestion and parking issues at Siesta Beach. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. First tonight, a flood advisory in effect for parts of the Suncoast.
Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan with a look at our first alert forecast. Bob?
We've been watching a line of showers and storms developing along the sea breeze front this afternoon, and also an upper level low continues to move very slowly off to the west. It has really enhanced the storms. You can see that wide coverage of heavy rainfall now. On top of that, we have again more convergence setting up right over an area that's been hit hard by that heavy rainfall along I-75 stretching down toward Lakewood Ranch. You can see that rain heavy at times now from Lakewood Ranch northward to State Road 70, 64. It's starting to lessen somewhat up near Ellington, but increasing now in between State Road 70 and University at this point. A lot of lightning going on right here. On top of that, that rainfall rate is up near 2 inches per hour. Treacherous driving conditions along I-75 and more storms are popping up. Here's a look at that area right there along I-75 just north of the UTC Mall. 2.55 inches per hour. That's torrential, and that's causing drive problems. Now, as far as the flood advisory is concerned, meaning the possibility exists throughout this area in green until 6:15 for some street flooding going on here. Again, not everyone's going to get it, but in that area, it's fairly significant. These storms are reaching up past 40,000 feet, and you could even see some small hail when they get that high. You can see the widespread coverage of the rainfall, and it's all kind of gathering right here, going over the same area as the flood advisory would suggest. Now storms are developing into Sarasota County as well. Not much in Venice or Osprey or Siesta Key at this point. However, these showers and storms are going to be gradually working off toward the west. Now, they're going to be moving slow to the west. That means the areas that you see right here are going to get some pretty heavy downpours over the next hour or so, especially along Clark Road and also Bee Ridge and Fruitville at this point. These storms are only going to get bigger as outflow boundaries continue to kind of bounce against one another and create these stronger cells that we're seeing right now. So keep that in mind. Some tough driving conditions. This cell starting to spread toward downtown Sarasota and near Bayshore Gardens as well. There's another outflow boundary. You see it coming from this storm, and then these are starting to intensify near Hidden River. More in our forecast, an update on the tropics as well coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Tonight, first responders in Venice are poised for an upgrade. We first told you last summer about the urgent need to replace Fire Station 1.
That building is more than half a century old and is falling down around the firefighters who call it home. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez is live at the fire station with the plans for a replacement. Rebecca?
Good evening, guys. Well, that new station will be built here, right behind the one the firefighters are currently using. That way they can continue to stay open throughout the entire construction. The Venice Fire Station 1 is more than 50 years old, and it is showing its age. The roof leaks, there are large holes in the walls and ceilings, and doors are coming off their hinges.
Got some structural integrity issues. It doesn't meet our needs as far as response for growth, and right now we're planning to look to build a station that will be sufficient for the city for over the next 40 years and plan on growth to grow along with the city.
And after Tuesday night's city council meeting, the new station has the green light.
This Fire Station 1 is our oldest station, and it's definitely outlived its useful life. When I came into office 8 years ago, we were in the middle of a recession and really couldn't do anything about it. Now that we're coming out of the recession, we have some funding available. It's a long overdue project, and it's time to tackle it and get the job done.
City leaders expect the two-story, 12,000 square foot facility to cost between $5 and $7 million.
If I were to calculate other committed funding, we probably have in the neighborhood of $4 million ready to go.
The remainder of the cost could be paid for by the 1% sales tax, the general fund for the fire department, and from the building department, to pay for something the department says is definitely needed.
The station is going to be a hardened facility, so right now we have to evacuate the station anytime we have winds about 40 to 45 miles an hour. So we lose 1/3 of our operating area and leave the city unprotected. So by building a hardened station, we can staff that 365, 24 hours, 7 days a week and have crews there. So it enhances our response to the community.
The next step will be an architectural rendering of the building with the city's approval, and they'll hope to break ground by this fall. Reporting live tonight in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. New details tonight about the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. The nearly 50-year-old landmark on Sarasota's Bayfront could one day be replaced. The Sarasota Bayfront Planning Organization releasing these renderings showing a new performing arts center that is expected to be built near the current Van Wezel. But according to the Van Wezel Foundation, things could look completely different once the facility is actually built, as these renderings are just part of the beginning planning stages. The state-of-the-art facility would seat 2,200 people and include an education center, amphitheater, improved acoustics, and new event spaces. It's unclear if the new facility will also be known as the Van Wezel.
And the name is owned by the city, okay, along with their building, because the city owns the land and the building and the naming rights. We are using Sarasota Performing Arts Center as a placeholder for now.
Van Wezel Foundation is working closely with the Bay Sarasota Project, which plans to renovate 53 acres on the bayfront near the Van Wezel.
A year ago today, Sarasota County Commissioners directed staff to find the best option for alleviating the traffic congestion at Siesta Beach. Tonight, staff has come back with 5 options: paid beach parking, an expanded trolley service, a park and ride, bicycle sharing, and a water taxi service. Staff says charging a fee may encourage beachgoers to carpool or use the trolley service that was just renewed yesterday for an additional 3 years. We'll have that full story about the proposed solutions and what county commissioners think about them coming up tonight at 6. In national news, we're getting our first look tonight at the 12 boys and their soccer coach recovering in a hospital in Thailand after their harrowing 18 days inside a flooded cave. This as we learn new details about the rescue inside of the cave. ABC's Linda Lopez gives us an update on the remarkable rescue.
The boys waving and giving peace signs. Their parents wiping away tears, able to be no closer than 6 feet away as their sons remain quarantined. 3 of the boys are suffering from lung infections, but all are showing improvement. And new video emerging today of the first glimpse of the boys inside the cave during the rescue mission as divers help them complete the journey out. Rescue teams working their way through dark, muddy waters, placing the boys on stretchers to help them emerge from the cave. Rescuers positioned a doctor in each of the 9 chambers the boys had to travel through. The coach, the last to come out. Many are calling him a hero for sharing his rations with the team and keeping them calm through meditation. This as we learn today that the mission could have had a very different ending. The main pump, which had pumped out hundreds of millions of gallons of water, failed right after the last member was rescued. The last 4 divers left in the cave, rushing out, abandoning equipment and hundreds of air tanks inside. If they had waited any longer, instead of swimming along the length of roughly half a football field, the boys would have had to gone a mile underwater. But instead, volunteers cheering, singing, and dancing in celebration.
Everybody smile and no more tear.
And we've learned that the boys will serve as monks for a short time when they leave the hospital, not uncommon in the Buddhist religion. And we've learned that when the boys were finally out of the cave, they didn't ask to see or hug their parents first. They said what they wanted most was to watch the World Cup. Linda Lopez, ABC News, New York.
The grandma accused of murdering a Bradenton woman to assume her identity and is back in court this morning. The judge granted the state a motion to require 56-year-old Lois Reese to submit to finger, palm, and foot printing. Reese is charged with first-degree murder in the shooting death of Pamela Hutchinson. She's also a suspect in the shooting death of her husband in Minnesota. Another case management hearing has been set now for October 31st.
A big thank you to dozens of donors who are protecting some valuable crime fighters. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office honoring more than 40 people who helped the agency buy ballistic vests for its canine unit. Canine handlers and their dogs were there to show off the potentially life-saving vests.
It's really amazing to see the turnout of the community to support these dogs. They're more than just a partner to us. They're part of our family. My kids play with them. You know, it means the world to me that they want to help us protect these animals.
The custom-fitted devices cost about $1,700 each, and a GoFundMe effort raised enough money to help buy 5 of them, so each one of the dogs was protected. Such a huge asset to our community.
Yeah, great job, community, raising that money. Coming up, beachgoers are fed up with red tide outbreaks here on the Suncoast. We'll look at one person's idea to find a solution.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with an update on those heavy storms developing in Manatee and Sarasota counties. Plus, the cigarette diet, what it is, and some good news for those wanting to kick the habit for better health.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit. Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I heard about the Detoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Detoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Detoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Recent red tide outbreaks have some beach lovers concerned. Mote Marine Lab, teams at USF, and Florida Fish and Wildlife have been studying red tide for years. Now, one fed-up Suncoast resident thinks it's time to get creative. She wants to form a think tank of mayors from Naples to Sarasota that could pool their resources together to find a solution.
I was absolutely devastated viewing the videos of the animals dead on the beaches, the fish and the tortoises. And I think if we don't all start screaming a little bit, it's not going to get better. And so if I can scream, or if I can get the mayors, I mean, they have positions of power. If I can somehow coordinate them, we have these dots of people doing things like Mote Marine, and so if I can somehow weave all these thoughts together, perhaps we can find an answer.
Nelson isn't alone in her frustration. Red tide and other environmental problems in the state and quickly becoming a big issue in this year's November election, mostly when it comes to how they'll affect the state tourism industry.
A date for the annual underwater cleanup of the Venice Fishing Pier has been set. The Suncoast Reef Rovers annual event is scheduled for Sunday, July 29th. Organizers are looking for divers, snorkelers, kayakers, and topside helpers. Everyone is welcome to attend. Divers need to be a certified scuba diver and comfortable diving in low visibility water with debris and sharp objects in the area. Sharkies will also be providing a buffet lunch for everyone involved in that cleanup.
Good reward at the end of the day of work there. Yeah,
that's right. We have a lot of rain around. That's what
Sure
people
do.
are talking about right now. And flood advisory we talked about at the top of the newscast. We'll get to that in just a minute. The rain is a result of a little upper level low spinning across South Florida right now. It's really enhanced these storms. On top of that, sea breeze front, and boy, the rain has come down pretty heavy. Not so much along the area beaches though. It's been mainly along I-75, although we do have a cell here that's pushed west of that. The heavy rain and flooding potential is right here into central Manatee County, stretching all the way down to Lakewood Ranch, where those rainfall rates were up to 2.5 inches per hour, and that's torrential, and that causes some poor visibility, especially driving along I-75. Now, the rain that was heavy over Ellington, also near State Road 64, has lessened somewhat, as you can see from this radar loop for the past couple of hours. But now it's still continuing along I-75 near Lakewood Ranch, where that flood advisory is in effect. University Parkway right there. I-75 right here, obviously, and then the heavy rain stretching all the way over and up to State Road 70. Down to street level we go at the UTC Mall. Still some coming down pretty good there at a good rate, up to 2 inches per hour. Lakewood Ranch Boulevard, also some heavy rainfall. I mentioned right there near Terra Boulevard, although we've just seen a sweep here, it's a little bit less action. I took the lightning out of here, by the way, so you can see some of the streets that we're showing right there. Again, Stone River Road, some fairly heavy rainfall. It is spreading westward there a little bit as well. And then from Bethany, Manhattan, all the way down into State Road 74. Now we're getting into Warm Mineral Springs as well, with some lightning strikes starting to show up here and there from Tarpon Point northward to Warm Mineral Springs, a little bit west of Northport at this time. In Tatum, some heavier storms just to the east there. Same goes true for Heritage Oaks. It is east, although you're getting rain now, the strongest cell now to the east. That may work its way to the west. There is the flood advisory. The area in the green that you see, there's a potential for some localized street flooding due to the excessive amount of rainfall just in the last hour and a half or so. And what we have is this, you see this little rotation right here. This is that low pressure I mentioned, and it's really enhanced the storms and moisture availability. Some of that moisture from Beryl, and again, that's pushing off toward the west-northwest, although the area of low pressure in the tropical wave is still well east of that as far as the overnight forecast goes. Now, this model's a little underdone. It started off and initialized with fewer storms around, so we could see a little bit more action than this is depicting at this point. But it will move off to the west, and we'll see some late night storms out in the Gulf of Mexico again. And then tomorrow morning, there's a chance for a few coastal showers, and then we'll see that sea breeze front become a little active again. Not much, but we'll still see some storms. As that area of low pressure scoots out into the Gulf, there won't be as many storms as we're seeing today, but there'll be a few, no doubt. And now on Friday morning, we'll start to see more of a westerly wind develop for a day or two, and that favors inland storms both on Friday and I think on Saturday as well, with a few coastal showers. Well, there goes Chris, and we have the remnants of Beryl. Still, conditions are not all that favorable for development over the next couple of days, but in 5 days from now, there's a chance that could reform near the Bahamas, or Bermuda, I should say, or Bahamas. This one north of Bermuda continues to push off to the northeast. It's now been downgraded to a Category 1 hurricane, and the last advisory just coming out within the last 15 minutes or so. Top winds are at 90. They've been as high as 105 miles an hour last night at 11 o'clock. It's ripping off to the northeast now at 25 miles an hour. And again, I mentioned that area of low pressure right about there at the surface anyway, and as it could redevelop and re-strengthen. The National Hurricane Center giving that a 50% chance of redevelopment over the next 5 days. But that would also move off to the northeast. Southeast winds for boaters tomorrow, very light out there. Seas running less than 2 feet, mostly smooth on the bays and inland waters. Still a chance tomorrow, not as great of a chance, but still there. I still expect to see a few scattered storms around at 30%. And then a better chance on Friday, as I mentioned, a few more morning showers along the coast. And then we're going to start to get into a pretty good deal of scattered showers and thunderstorms from Saturday all the way through Wednesday of next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Let's check first alert traffic. We're seeing reports of a crash in the southbound lanes of I-75 at the US 301 exit in Ellington. 2 lanes are blocked there, and it is causing congestion in the southbound lanes. Also, as you saw on radar, there are a lot of rain in that area as well. Jacqueline?
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, everyone knows smoking is bad for your health, but you'd be surprised why some women continue to smoke so their scales won't betray them. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos with some tips to stay in shape without smoking cigarettes.
The cigarette diet. That's what some people call smoking, since it can help keep weight off, especially during menopause, when it gets harder and harder to keep the extra pounds away. New research from the North American Menopause Society may offer good news to smokers afraid to get on the scale if they quit. They looked at weight changes over 3 years for more than 4,000 women. Some had stopped smoking and some hadn't. People who kept on smoking didn't gain or lose any weight, regardless of how much they exercised. Those that quit smoking did gain some weight, but even just 90 minutes of walking a week minimized the degree of weight gain. Adequate exercise and not smoking are known parts of a winning plan for good health. Quitting smoking isn't easy, and gaining weight is no walk in the park either. But exercising, perhaps walking in the park, can help former smokers continue to make changes for better health. With this Medical Minute, I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
A new study uses software and cameras to monitor teen driving behaviors. The study, led by the National Institutes of Health, found teen drivers are at the highest risk of crashing during their first 3 months after getting a driver's license. Teens are also 4 times more likely to engage in risky behaviors like rapid acceleration, sudden braking, and hard turns during this period. In contrast, teens on a learner's permit drove more safely, with their crash and risky driving rates similar to those of adults. Coming up, a gas leak causes a massive explosion in Wisconsin. A look at the extensive damage to those buildings. Plus, you won't believe the size of this crocodile captured in Australia. How rangers caught the giant reptile. Coming up next.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month. Or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
You are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help, I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
An explosion in Wisconsin Tuesday led to the collapse of several buildings. 2 firefighters and 1 police officer were taken to a local hospital. One of those firefighters died from his injuries. Nearby residents, including a nursing home, were evacuated. A gas leak was first reported around 6:30 p.m. and then that large plume of smoke was seen coming from the bar. This is video of the fire still burning into the night. The city of Sun Prairie advised people to avoid that downtown area. Landslides and flooding in Japan have killed another 21 people in what has become one of the deadliest natural disasters to hit that country since the earthquake and tsunami of 2011. A total of 176 people have died since the heavy rains began late last week. Officials say another 9 are still missing. More than 75,000 first responders have been deployed to the area by search and rescue operations. Officials say storms and landslides could pose further danger in the coming days.
Wildlife rangers in Australia trapped a 15-foot saltwater crocodile, the largest they've ever caught in their region. The 1,300-pound reptile was captured on Monday, almost 200 miles from the ocean. Authorities say they've been hunting the large crocodile in the area for at least a decade. Rangers say the croc has been trucked to a crocodile farm where it's likely to become a tourist attraction. Well, some police officers in Virginia posted a lip-sync version of a popular song online, and 27 million views later, Uptown Funk becomes Coptown Funk. The officers reportedly nailed it in just 2 takes during their lunch break. It was in response to a challenge by a Texas police department who did a lip-sync video to Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. As for Norfolk's video, it has racked up over 27 million views in only a few days. Now to just wait and see if our police departments do the same. Coming up, handicapped parking spaces were recently removed from a UTC shopping center, why some are now demanding the city find a solution. Plus, dozens of palm trees are being removed in downtown Venice, leaving some people concerned. We'll tell you what the city is planning for that area coming up next.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Don't miss the exciting original musical review, Tops from Flops, playing July 11th through the 22nd at the Players Center. All the best songs from all the wrong shows from composers like Irving Berlin, Cole Porter, and more. Call 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You'll want to sing right along with Tops from Flops.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system can make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now SoClean.com has released the world's first and only automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
My health has improved. It's simple to use, and I'm not worried about infections.
SoClean works on all CPAP machines and popular masks, destroying CPAP bacteria, viruses, and germs without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and in just minutes, voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G-Freed has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G-Freed Flooring America. G-Freed Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Reorganizing a space in your home? Save up to 20% on our beautiful light finishes during the California Closet's Shades of White event. Contact us today for a free design consultation. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.